In this video, we're going to explore the roulette system of the castle with the reinforced Barbican, a twist on the method we've extensively covered, but this time with an extra layer of safety. This means you can either win more with the same balance, or bet less while maintaining the same level of security as the standard Castle Roulette system. I'll explain everything clearly in the video, so make sure you watch it right till the end. Welcome to Ninja Gamblers, the ultimate destination for quality casino content. Here you can find the latest info and strategies for roulette, blackjack, poker, slots, and more. If you want to stay ahead of the game and be best equipped to try and beat the casinos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. In the link in the description of this video, you can also find a link to our Telegram channel, where we share extra content that never makes it to YouTube. And you can also find a list of safe licensed casinos we recommend, with free money bonuses that they offer. Alright folks, this is going to be the last video on the castle method for a while. I reckon I've babbled on enough about these medieval castles. In the coming weeks, I'll dive into various other topics, and then we'll come back to the castle method after some time. But before closing this chapter, I want to show you a very intriguing variation of the castle method, the one with the reinforced Barbican. Essentially, the strategy's outer walls don't let too much through the Barbican, meaning that if you lose less, and thus there's less risk with various doublings within the inner walls. If you haven't seen any of my other videos on this strategy and are wondering what on earth I'm talking about, I recommend watching at least the first one, where I explain the castle strategy in detail. I'll pop it up here in the top right corner. Since I'm currently in Europe, I'll be playing in a European casino using euros. However, this strategy is applicable to any currency, be it dollars, pounds, euros, or others. Just make sure that you're playing in a safe, legal, and certified casino in your country. As usual, I need to emphasize the importance of avoiding unlicensed online casinos, as they can lead to legal and financial troubles. These unlicensed platforms might be illegal in some regions and are often associated with scams, unfair games, and potential loss of funds. Such casinos typically operate from tax havens and may disappear suddenly, leaving no recourse for recovering your money. I strongly recommend playing only in certified online casinos authorized by recognized regulatory bodies. For a list of secure and approved casinos in your country, check the link in the video description below, many of which offer introductory bonuses for new members. For a reliable and safe gaming experience, it's best to stick with these verified brands. To our friends in the US, please note that each state has its own rules about legal online casinos, and some states permit only social casinos. For your convenience, the link in the description provides information on the legal online casinos in your state, as well as the top social casinos for states where regular casinos aren't legally allowed. In short, no matter where you are in the world, the link in the description will guide you to the safe and regulated casinos in your country. Okay, let's get started. Alright guys, here we are. As you can see, I've put in a smaller balance than last time, €60 and 90 cents. Yet, this balance still allows me to build the same 3 defensive walls as in the other video, with a bet very similar to the old video. How so? Well, thanks to the reinforced Barbican. Let's see it in action. I'll place the usual €1 on the first 2 dozens, 10 cents on 0, but instead of 10 cents on the last 2 double streets, the 6 numbers bet will place 30 cents. Okay, in this case, we'll win more if a Barbican or a number covered by the 2 double streets comes up, allowing us to lose less if one of those numbers appears. Let's spin and see it in detail. In this case, we've won with a dozen, the usual €3. Let's move on and see what happens. Here, a Barbican has appeared, but since we bet 30 cents instead of 10, we win 3 times more money, so we win €1 and 80 cents. Having bet a total of €2 and 70 cents, we've actually lost 90 cents, compared to the €1 and 70 we would have lost with the standard Barbican. So now we move to the first inner wall, with just €1 instead of 2 as before. €1 on each double street, except the one of the number just out. We've won, recovering everything and making a small profit of 10 cents. Back to the outer walls, our total cover bet. Remember to put 30 cents on the double streets, not 10. Another Barbican. So back to the euro on each double street, except for the one containing the number that just got out. Do you see the advantage of this variation? Very little has changed in the base bet, 30 cents instead of 10 on the double streets. but this changes everything on the outer walls. Instead of betting €2 on each double street in the second wall, we'll bet €1, so 5 in total instead of 10. And if we lose there and have to go to the third wall, we'll put €5 on each triplet, or street, instead of 10. So 55 instead of 110. Everything is halved, and so the required balance is practically halved, even though the winning odds remain unchanged. Not bad, right? Of course, there's a price to pay. When we win with one of the 2 dozens, we always win our €3, but we've actually bet a bit more, €2.70 instead of €2.30. So instead of winning the usual 70 cents, we'll win 30 cents each round. If 0 comes up, we win 90 cents instead of the usual €1.20. Of course, there's always a price to pay. So, in summary, there are pros and cons to this variation. The most significant pro is that it really feels like a method with high chances of winning. While the second wall happens a few times, the third happens pretty rarely. And it's extremely rare to lose with the third because we're covered on all but one of the triplets. All this though with a really low budget, just €60 with the base bet I've put in. If you think about it, it's a great deal compared to other methods we use with similar probabilities. For example, if we did a simple 11 by 11 method, to make 3 11 folds and win 30 cents each round, we'd need a stop loss budget of around €440 to have winning chances very similar to this variation. So, in that sense, it's a really fantastic method. The cons are that you win very slowly, as you're seeing here. First of all, you win 30 cents instead of 70 in rounds where you hit a number for the first 2 dozens. Then, in the recoveries within the various walls, you win an extra 10 cents instead of 30 as in the normal method. So, in the long run, this shows because the balance increases much more slowly. And obviously, the risks of the method don't disappear just because the Barbican is more reinforced. The risk of losing, even at the third wall, is always there unfortunately. Sure, one might say, well then I'll put up a fourth, maybe even a fifth wall, to further increase my chances of winning, and play on the fact that you need less balance for just 3 walls. And indeed, that's a nice variation that we'll see in the future. But the risk, albeit increasingly minimized, is there and remains. Okay guys, I'll continue to play a bit more because, as I said, this method is slower at building up the cash. I'll try to get to €80, at least making €20 profit. See you soon. Alright folks, here we are. After a few minutes of play, I've finally reached €80.40 in balance, effectively making a €20 profit in about 17 minutes of play. So, as I was saying, it's a lot slower than the past method in terms of building up the cash, but the advantage of this setup is that it requires a much smaller balance. If you maintained the balance used in the previous video, what you could actually do was win more each round while keeping the same odds of winning, by betting similar numbers in the inner walls. In short, this variation is very interesting for those who want to try reducing the risk and don't mind compromising a bit on the speed of winning. As always, of course, I remind you that no method guarantees a win, including this one, and there are always risks. That said, what do I prefer? I prefer methods with a less reinforced Barbican. The fact that here we are winning so slowly is kind of boring for me, but then again, to each their own. So let me know what you think of this strategy in the comments. I try to respond to everyone. I remind you that in the link in the description, you can find a list of safe and certified online casinos in your country and in each US state. I recommend using certified casinos if you want peace of mind and to avoid scams, rigged games, or even playing in illegal casinos in your country and having trouble with the law. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you soon, ninjas.